Good evening. A sunny day at California's famed Venice Beach took a dark turn Sunday when one person died and a dozen others were injured after a rare lightning strike. A man in his mid-20s died at the hospital after being transported. However, it's too early to determine whether he died as a result of a lightning strike, drowning, or being trampled by the crowd. The lightning hit the water and the beach at approximately 2:51 p.m., according to spokeswoman Catherine Main of the Los Angeles Fire Department, and at least 13 patients, all of whom were either in or near the water, were assessed on the scene. Of those, 7 adults and 1 teenager were transported to local hospitals.
SeaWorld announced on Friday that the longest-running show in SeaWorld history will be canceled in August. SeaWorld Orlando posted on its Facebook page, quote, Clyde and Seymour Take Pirate Island will have its last show on August 10th. Clyde and Seymour Take Pirate Island has been making audiences at SeaWorld laugh for 15 years. Don't worry too much, though, because SeaWorld also said in its Facebook post to, quote, stay tuned to learn more about Clyde and Seymour's next show and adventure.
According to reports, toxicologists at Vanderbilt University Medical Center are seeing an increased number of patients with brown recluse spider bites this summer. The bites usually start red in color and then turn black or brown in the center. They can stay contained or spread to the rest of the body, and if left untreated, they can cause flu-like symptoms such as chills, fever, nausea, and vomiting. Anyone who thinks they were bitten by one, if it's possible, should bring the spider to a healthcare professional immediately so they can identify it. To get rid of one or more in your home, you should clean up your house and then call an exterminator to help spray.
Cincinnati set a new Guinness World Record in salsa dancing last week. Organizers reported that a new record was set when over 2,000 people showed up to salsa dance on Fountain Square downtown on July 24th. Organizers are sending the confirmation with the certification of Grant Thornton, the package of evidence, and information regarding this event. This package will include registration forms, videos, and pictures to be recognized by Guinness World Record Organization. Now to Tatyana with the national weather.
Thank you, Zach. Welcome, everybody. We're doing the national weather. I see there is the end of the world crisis going on right now. We have a cold front coming in the Midwest region close to the East Coast. Also that you see in Detroit is going to hit it pretty soon. Also, we see here down in New Orleans that there's going to be a high amount of water, so make sure that you have your boats ready. You might get floating in down to Tampa. Also, we see over here in Denver, Colorado, it's Death Valley with California. It's a heat wave coming in of a high Fahrenheit temperature of 118 degrees. Those tips that I'm going to let you know is that drink plenty of water. Also, excuse me, drink plenty of water, stay indoors, wear long sleeve clothing to protect your skin, plenty of sunblock, and make sure that your pets are being very hydrated outside. Also here up in the Minnesota area, we see that there are some clouds of precipitation. It's probably going to be some light rain due from the weather that we have here with all the snow going on. Chicago is actually pretty lovely with nothing going on, so if you like to go on vacation in the summertime, this is actually the area that you need to go to. All of here in Atlanta, we're going to have some snowfall. We're also going to have some high snow and some high rain. That's going to be mixed here because of all the different colors that's going on here. Up here in New York, we see that there's nothing going on as well, so that's a place that you need to be for protection. Down here in Dallas, we also have some high heat and humidity coming from the storm of the snow and also from the high heat that's going on. But right now, we're going to go to a commercial break, and I'll give you local news.
Have you ever been unable to communicate with other people from other cultures when you were traveling abroad?
I'm lost. Can you help me out?
听不懂是吗？
What am I gonna do now?
Don't worry, there's Translator 3000.
What is Translator 3000?
Translator 3000 will enable you to translate your requests in 30 languages so you can be connected with the whole world.
Thank you, Translator 3000. You saved my life.
Do you feel alone? Perhaps like no one will ever love you?
Hello?
Do you suffer from anxiety and excessive sweating at the thought of approaching women face to face?
How'd you know that?
With Tinder, a new social connection app, you can meet the women you've been missing out on without the need to leave your couch. Just one swipe to the right and the girl of your dreams could appear right in front of you.
Who are you?
Tinder is how people meet. It's like real life, but better.
Ever feel like you just aren't very cool? Wish you had what it takes to be hip and with it? Well, now you can!
But how?
Introducing the cool generating sunglasses.
Wow.
Harnessing the power of futuristic electrolytes, you too can be totally tubular.
Hey, random person, do you want to go hang out?
Gosh, do I?
Cool generating sunglasses will not actually improve social standing.
Hi, Nick. What's up?
Man, great workout. Oh God. Oh God. What is that?
Don't let the stink after sports embarrass you and people around you. Use X Fresh to keep you as a freshman every moment.
Fresh experience. Start at $4.99. Be a fresh person.
Welcome back, and on to sports. Last night was a historic one in baseball as the newest Hall of Fame class was inducted in Cooperstown. With 6 prominent inductees, this was a particularly exceptional class. Inducted were managers Tony La Russa, Joe Torre, and Bobby Cox, pitchers Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine, and first base and designated hitter Frank Thomas. Maddux in particular may go down as the greatest control pitcher of all time, and Thomas is, at worst, only one of the top 10 right-handed hitters of all time. The Big Hurt is also the first person to be inducted who spent at least 50% of his career as a designated hitter.
There were many divisional matchups in the baseball world as well last night. In the American League East, Toronto beat the Yankees 5-4 and the Red Sox beat Tampa Bay 3-2. In the AL Central, Cleveland stomped Kansas City 10-3, while the White Sox lost to the Twins 4-3. The AL West had Oakland continue their dominance by beating the Rangers 9-3 over the National League. In the National League, the East didn't actually have any divisional games. The Central had Cardinals squeak out a 1-0 victory over the Cubs, and the Dodgers beat the Giants 4-3 in the NL West.
And it's time for the Daily LeBron Update. We, as a company who reports sports news, are obligated to repeatedly spoon-feed you any and all information regarding LeBron James. The world was abuzz with LeBron James jersey number dilemma 2014, but today we finally have an answer. LeBron James, as announced on his Twitter account yesterday, is going to return his talents to the number 23, much to the disappointment of number 6 enthusiasts worldwide.
In other NBA news, Team USA will not have Kevin Love on the roster for the Basketball World Cup. Love decided to withdraw from the competition amid abundant trade talks. Cleveland is largely regarded as the number 1 suitor, with Chicago and Golden State trying to figure out how to match the Cavaliers' offer. It appears that Love does not want to risk getting injured, which would seriously diminish his chances of getting out of Minnesota and playing for a title-contending team.
In Indianapolis on Sunday, Jeff Gordon won a NASCAR record 5th Brickyard 400 a mere 20 years after winning his first. Now, at the age of 43, Gordon is setting himself up to compete for his 5th Sprint Cup title, one that has eluded him for 13 years. Even if he doesn't end up winning the title, this made him only the 3rd Cup driver in history to win 90 races. He's still behind David Pearson at 105 wins, and probably won't ever catch Richard Petty's legendary 200.
Training camps kicked off in the NFL this past weekend. Reports are that Michael Sam, reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Year, is thriving in St. Louis after dropping his weight from 270 to 257. The reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks apparently have plans in place to deal with running back Marshawn Lynch's absence during the continued contractual holdout. Finally, the mysterious woman in black who was spotted walking alone across America was positively identified as probable second-string Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel.
In local news, following a realization that students may have misrepresented their income, hundreds of students' financial eligibility has been reviewed by the U.S. Department of Education. The free application for federal student aid, FAFSA, online application failed to check for a potential input error that led to an incorrect evaluation of financial aid eligibility for around 200,000 students in the U.S. According to the Purdue Division of Financial Aid, 19,087 students filed a FAFSA at the university, and of those students, the Department of Education asked Purdue to review about 2.79% of those applications.
The Department of Education gave Purdue and other schools a head start around May to identify which students' reassessment of financial aid was needed. He added that students at Purdue should have received communications from the Division of Financial Aid. The FAFSA website has also been updated to avoid any further mistake, but the Department of Education does not expect to find all of the mistakes in entries.
Attendees of the Tippecanoe County 4-H Fair witnessed the Purdue president doing something not so typical of his day job: kissing a pig. President Mitch Daniels was the winner of this year's Kiss a Pig competition. In addition to Daniels, the competition featured Purdue Pete, WLFI meteorologist Cameron Hopman, Dean of the College of Agriculture Jay Eckeridge, and Purdue entomology professor Tom Turpin, who stated, quote, "I wasn't sure if it was Daniels or the pig, but I could hear squealing."
City Bus will soon implement newer, cleaner, and more efficient buses in their transit system. On Tuesday morning, the general manager of City Bus, Martin Sinetti, announced the city's main public transportation provider has 6 new compressed natural gas buses and 5 new compressed natural gas access vehicles on order. The new buses will enter the fleet around April of next year. In the most recent analysis, Sinetti predicted savings of around $7 million over the next 10 years from a combination of fuel and bus costs. He also mentioned City Bus would be setting precedent in Indiana, being the first transit system in Indiana to have buses run on compressed natural gas. We will be back with weather after the quick commercial break.
Don't you hate the feeling of being tired and wanting to fall asleep at work but can't because you still have tasks that need to get done? Drink Energize Me. Unlike the product shown here, Energize Me actually works and will have you feeling energized so that you will be able to accomplish anything and everything every day.
So what are you waiting for? Get Energize Me now.
Call today at 111-222-3333.
Oh, hello there. I'm Nick Tippett. You may recognize me from hosting such shows as The Smallest Gainer and Whose Cat Is This? But I'm here to talk to you about something that has been all over our headlines: Central American kids showing up at our borders. Firstly, I think this is a matter between the CEO of Borders and the parents of these kids. Children can't stay at a bookstore overnight, you dummies. So remember, don't let your kids into Borders.
This message is brought to you by Barnes & Noble.
This is Austin. Like many college students, Austin is poor. He needs your help. Those stale ramen noodles are all that he has. For only 99 cents a day, you can sponsor Austin. Donate within the next 10 minutes, and he will let you follow him on Twitter. Donate now at www.notfordrugswinkytongueyface.com.
Have you wondered, in a hot summer day, there's something, like a drink, can cheer you up? Things like, Coke. Not just any kind of Coke, but Coca-Cola. Because we make sure every bottle we produce has the same taste we've been producing for over 200 years. So why don't you share it with your friends? Now that's refreshing.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Tatyana Fykes here with your local news. Here in Indiana, if you were here earlier today, you hear that there was a snowstorm here up in Indiana. Here near Kokomo and Indianapolis is not that really much snow here, but as you can see here in Warshaw and Fort Wayne, that there is a high possibility of school closings and snowstorms. So for the tips that I would advise, that make sure you put chains on your tires so that you'll have some friction when you drive. Make sure you put ice on the driveways. Also here in Indianapolis, it's a slight chance that this snow is going to melt for you guys, so you guys don't really have to worry about all that. Here up in Champaign, Illinois, that there's really some high precipitation of snow that's going to have some problems because of the water out there. Here in Rensselaer, there's a chance that it might not snow again, but make sure you be precautious on everything. And down here in Richmond, you guys are having a very good light Christmas in July, so you guys don't have anything to worry about. So now I'm going to give you back up to the studio, and those are your local news.
Well, thank you very much, Tatyana. And in case we don't see you, West Lafayette, as the great Jim Carrey would say, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.